The Minecraft bee. A mob many people either love or hate. I am one of those people who love bees. I mean, seriously, I'm even making a bee-themed Minecraft server. More on that later. But yes, guys, today I am going to be attempting to survive 100 days in the Beehive dimension in hardcore Minecraft. Getting basic resources is going to be near impossible. And my challenge is to fight the Ender Dragon with whatever gear I can get in this tough dimension. Can I form an alliance with the bees and survive 100 days in this unfamiliar world? Before the video starts, I have a brand new Minecraft server releasing in just a few days. This is a survival server, and I'm going to be playing with you guys and streaming the entire thing. I cannot wait to share what I've been working on with all of you, and if you've ever wanted to play Minecraft with me, now's your chance. Be sure to log on and join the server on Monday at 4 p.m. EST. All the info you need will be down below in the description, including some giveaways and a way to get a free rank for all of you. But you have to act fast. It's a limited time offer. Now, without further ado, let's get into the 100 days. Well, here I was, in a completely different place than I ever could have expected. I mean, guys, I am literally in a beehive. I checked out the terrain around me a bit and was very concerned on how I'm going to get some basic materials like wood and stone and food. But after looking around a bit, I found some trees. So I headed over to them and started to get myself some wood. I also grabbed any dirt I could find because, let's face it, there isn't going to be much over these 100 days. I mean, everything in here is honey. I crafted myself a wooden axe and cut down as many trees as I possibly could. I also got some new blocks that I'll have to try building with. These are pretty interesting, but I think I can make some pretty cool builds with them. Okay, I had a bit of wood now, but I kind of need some food. Oh god, where do I even begin with this one? Are there any bees that want to just drop me some honey? I got lucky a few minutes into my search and found these honey crystals underwater. Or should I say, under honey. Yeah guys, this isn't water. I am swimming in honey. Anyways, for whatever reason, I tried eating some of these delicious crystals and it worked. I even crafted a shield out of them. I mean, this is actually pretty cool. Then I crafted a boat and wow, shortly into my journey, I found a village just floating on this honey lake. I quickly pulled up to it and looked around. There was so much here, including moo blooms. Oh my god. I also found a very, very lazy villager and got some loot from this chest. One of the things I got was this book, but hey, who needs reading, am I right? I got some food here and even some iron ingots. Oh, there was also a farm here, and guys, can we just take a minute to look at the farmer? Oh my god, this guy is adorable. I helped him out a bit and replanted his farm because I don't think he has thumbs. With the wheat I got, I bred my new flowery cow friends and looked around a bit more. This is probably going to be where I live for a while. There were also some oak trees here that I cut down. I just really hope I get a sapling to replant them, because I'm getting the feeling that trees are pretty rare in here. Oh, I also had to make myself a cobble generator because how else am I going to get stone? This is a resource that I know I'm going to need, so I spent a few days just getting myself some cobblestone. And then I looked in these beehives that I haven't checked out yet. These are called advanced oak beehives, and in here I noticed some materials and did a ton of researching. I realized that in this mod there are special bees that can get me resources like wood, crops, ores, and honey, of course. There's literally a bee for everything. There's farmer bees, lumberjack bees, iron bees, and even diamond bees. I really hope I come across some of these later on. I spent a day or so just researching the mod, looking around at all I can do. Because this was actually really interesting to me. I've never seen something like this. I was very excited at the idea of having some automatic farms without having to lift a finger. See guys, this is why I love bees. I crafted myself some furnaces and started making another resource I knew I needed, charcoal. Yeah, I'm not seeing any coal or stone or anything around here. This is fairly simple. All I have to do is smelt logs. And then I was really excited when I got these wood chips from the beehives and I crafted myself some wooden logs. Guys, have you ever crafted logs? I mean, this is crazy. I spent a while farming, and then I grabbed some more cobblestone. I had to rescue these 2 villagers from drowning in honey, and yeah, these guys weren't very smart. Honestly, I don't know why I saved them. But I did end up making a wall around the village out of cobblestone because these guys really aren't smart and I didn't want them to die. After these guys were safe again, I went out to see if I could find any ores. I knew this was a long shot, but I did read somewhere in the mod pack documentation that ores are custom honeycomb. It's pretty strange, I gotta say. I'm still not exactly sure what to do with honeycomb ores, so I'll have to figure that out soon. But sure enough, as I was mining through honeycomb, I found a strange looking honeycomb. And this was actually an ore. And you guessed it, it was diamond honeycomb. I was a bit surprised to get this so soon, actually. I mean, I'm really not even that far underground. I spent a long time mining, getting random blocks I could find, and then I found this crazy room filled with candles and loads of ores. Some of these ores I didn't even know what they were, but I grabbed them regardless. I got all that I could from here and headed back to my base. I had a lot to learn. How on earth can I get ores from honeycomb? I was very confused, but after just a short amount of time of researching, I learned that I needed to craft something called a centrifuge. Luckily, I had some iron I got from the village and was able to craft one pretty easily. I threw the honeycomb into it, and out came iron ore. This was unbelievable. I was so relieved to have such an important resource, because I did not think I was going to be able to get iron here. I finally was feeling good when I crafted myself a full set of iron armor and tools. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Guilty, that's not really that great. It's very easy to get iron. But this, my friends, was anything but easy. You saw the painstaking process it was to get iron. So to me, this was a big victory. I was a good chunk of the way into this world by now, and I was ready to upgrade my living situation. I mean, I'm literally living in this tiny 3x3 villager hut. But just one problem, I have nowhere to build. So I got started on building a nice big stone platform. It took quite a lot of materials over a few days to make this. And after placing many stone blocks, I discovered a new block, the honey brick. And of course, I fell in love with these and made myself a tree farm out of these bricks. This block really isn't very expensive at all. And it's so cool looking. Although bees can gather wood for me, I still felt it was necessary to have a small wood farm where I can grow some trees. And after this was all set up, I spent a while just chopping down trees. If I'm going to be building a house, I need wood to do so. And yes, I got much more wood than I probably will ever need, but it's better to be safe than sorry. I was getting some materials from my centrifuge when I noticed some crazy new things. I had gotten some experience bottles, an ender pearl, and yes, diamonds. I couldn't believe my eyes. This was so relieving. Now, of course, not every honeycomb transfers to diamond, but I did get a decent amount of diamonds from doing this. I also got a load of honey bottles from this as well, but I'm not really sure what I can use these for. Comment down below some uses of honey bottles if you know them, because I am lost. I crafted myself a diamond axe and pickaxe and got to work on the build. Of course, I went for a design that utilizes the honeycomb blocks, and not just because I'm in the bee dimension. I've always wanted to build more with these, and they are a block that's a bit more expensive, so I've never really had the opportunity to build with them until now. I still needed this house to have some class, so I didn't want to build it out of all honeycomb. So I used lots of oak wood, and I gotta say, the honeycomb blocks with oak wood look absolutely incredible. Recently, I've really been liking these roofs that have blocks instead of stairs. I just think it looks way cooler. So I used a ton of honeycomb for the roof, and I gotta say this house looks pretty good. After the house was completed, I added on a honey door and moved in all of my items. This is definitely a big upgrade from the house I was living in before. While I was building, the centrifuge made me some more diamonds, so I was able to make a few pieces of diamond armor. Then I decided to make this pen for my mooblooms a bit larger. They were in such a small confined space and it needed an upgrade. Also, this house was in my way, so I took this down as well. I really won't be needing this anymore. Oh, there were also villagers stuck in here, so I had to get them out. I told you guys these villagers are not very smart. After getting the villagers out, I bred the mooblooms. Things were looking good around here. I was AFK for a day or so, and when I came back, I couldn't believe my eyes. Guys, is it me or do you see all of these bees too? Yeah, this is a little insane, isn't it? I had loads of hardworking bees around my village. The beehives were full of honey and honeycomb and other materials. This was insane, and I felt a little like a bee today and did a bit of farming too. And I also crafted materials from what the bees were able to give me. Then it was time for an adventure. I had spent so much time in this little village, I forgot about the world around me. So I hopped in a boat and went through the honey lake looking for something interesting. And fairly quickly, I came across a strange dungeon. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. What on earth is this? This looks dangerous. There were so many mobs to fight off. In fact, there were spawners spawning in wither skeletons. I kept getting attacked by them and tried fighting my way through them. I eventually blocked off the spawner, and yes guys, I got a wither skull. This will come in handy later on, but for now, I grabbed some loot from this barrel, and the stuff in here was insane. I got a super strong bow, some saplings, and even some enchants, and I was very excited for this. I spent some time killing these wither skeletons and then headed home. I added some of the enchant books onto my sword and pickaxe, and since I have new saplings now, I decided to plant them and make another tree farm. Now I'll have access to every type of wood. This will definitely expand the materials I'm able to use. After this, I was feeling ready to try something new. I got a rush from fighting those wither skeletons, and I wanted to do something harder. I wanted to fight the ender dragon, and I had some good gear and now a very powerful bow. So I grabbed the obsidian I got from the dungeon and built a nether portal. Just one issue, it wouldn't light. I guess it's because I'm in the B dimension. I was really sad about this, but then thought of something daring. What if I make my way back to the overworld to get myself into the nether? Well guys, I dug down until there was nothing but the void and I hopped through. Don't worry, I was sent to the overworld and wow, it was really strange to see so much green. Don't worry guys, you'll see how easy it is to get back here soon. I spent way too much time just running through the overworld, and I guess you could say I got a little distracted, but I wanted to make sure I had enough food for the dragon fight. After days of traveling, I knew I needed another portal, so I dug down to find some obsidian and crafted myself a portal and headed straight through. I instantly found a bastion and went right up to it. I had some good armor and tools, so I felt well protected. I used my bow a lot to fight off these brutes. And once the area was clear, I went down to get this gold block and some random loot. The loot here was okay, but nothing over the top like netherite. I left the bastion and started the search for another fortress. Once I found one, I headed inside and focused on getting blaze rods. There isn't really another reason that I usually come to the nether, if I'm being honest. And by this time, my shield was taking a hit. After getting a load of blaze rods, I headed over to a warped forest, the easiest place to get ender pearls. I killed countless endermen over the next few days, but eventually was able to leave the nether with more than enough pearls for the dragon. I was about to head back to the B dimension, but instead I decided to leave straight for the dragon fight. I mean, I did have everything I needed, except for food, so thank God I found this village. I grabbed every bed I could find and got a ton of hay bales that I was able to craft into some bread. Now I was ready for this battle. I followed the Eyes of Ender to the stronghold and only lost one along the way. That is pretty good. Once I got to the portal, I threw the Eyes of Ender in and took a deep breath. Could I kill the Ender Dragon with the gear I got from the B dimension? It was time to find out. I first headed in and made sure to not look at any Endermen, because duh. I used my super powerful bow to begin knocking out the end crystals. But once I climbed up to the first tower, I was hit with Dragon's Breath. I didn't have any enchants and had mostly iron armor, so I started taking a load of damage. I had no choice but to jump off the tower. Luckily, I landed perfectly with my water bucket with just half a heart to spare. Thank gosh I had some golden apples with me. After this, I went back up to getting down some towers. I tried staying on the ground as much as I could, but there were some towers I had to climb up to get. After all of these were destroyed, it was time to kill the dragon. Remember all of those beds I got from the village? Well, it was time to put them to use. I used them to deal damage to the dragon, but they hurt me a ton as well. This was a little scary, but don't worry, it turned out to be fine. Whenever the dragon would perch, I got loads of damage dealt to her, and these beds really came in handy. I was lucky to have them. After quite some time, the dragon was finished. Boy, was I relieved. I got the egg and jumped through the portal. Once I was back to the overworld, I needed to find a beehive to head back to the B dimension. I can't believe how long it took me to find one. But guys, after literal days of searching, I found the one thing that can transport me home, a beehive. I threw a pearl inside, and within seconds, I was home. Oh, by the way, the XP bar was glitched for a few minutes. This is just a visual glitch and sometimes happens when traveling to custom modded dimensions. But don't worry, I still have all of my XP. I was very, very happy to be home and was ready to finally do some enchanting. I worked over a few days, getting materials ready for an enchant setup. Things like leather, sugarcane, and wood were all needed. And while I was waiting for sugarcane to grow and breed more cows, I built myself a small little boat dock. I have been using boats a lot on this world. It's the easiest way for traveling through honey, so I felt like this could really come in handy. And I also had to kick these bees out of my boat. Sorry, guys. After making this dock, I did some farming and then started throwing together some bookshelves and an enchantment table. I set all of this up right outside of my house, and wow, I was way too excited to enchant all of my gear. I had so many levels of XP and got some pretty good enchants on my diamond armor. I decided not to spend too many levels on iron gear and wait until I got more diamonds. With some better gear, I was ready for the next challenge, the Wither. A lot of you guys who play Bedrock Edition say the Wither is harder than the Ender Dragon, but I'm kind of torn. I don't know which boss is harder. So comment down below which boss you think is more tough, and we'll see who wins in the comments. I headed back over to the dungeon and grinded out some Wither skeleton skulls. Thankfully, I only needed 2 here, because I had one back at my base from earlier. Although this was easier than getting them from the Nether directly, it still wasn't easy and took days of grinding hoping to get lucky. I really wish I had looting 3. Don't worry, eventually I got 1 skull, and after grinding some more, I got the final Wither skeleton skull needed in to spawn the Wither. I headed back to my base and got the items I needed to conduct this fight. Soul sand, arrows, food were all gathered for the fight. I needed to make sure I grabbed the best gear for this battle. I said goodbye to all of my worker bees and headed down deep into the beehive. I carved out a pretty large room and spawned in the wither. Once I put that third skull on, a deep feeling of regret reigned over me. I was terrified. I started eating a golden apple straight away because I was panicking, but it did nothing in comparison to what the wither was about to deal to me. I tried the one strategy I knew to fight the wither: keep a distance. I dealt as much damage as I could with my bow, but he was out of my reach at some points. I had no choice but to be up close with him, and boy was he loving this. I kept blocking myself in to heal, but it was useless. The wither effect is so powerful, and I didn't have any milk buckets to deflect it. Any chance he got, he destroyed me. I started taking some crazy damage. The wither was on my level. I couldn't move away from him. I was stuck in honey and he was getting my health down so low. I had just a few hearts when I paused the game in fear of dying. I knew there was nothing I could do. I unpaused and tried putting up a fight, but yeah, the wither kicked my butt. I was dead. This is hardcore Minecraft. That meant I lost this world. I am now nothing but a spectator. Well guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video. Although I didn't make it all the way to 100 days, I still got a lot accomplished over this video, and I loved it way too much to not upload. I really hope you guys did enjoy this one, and if you like bees as much as I do, please go check out my new Minecraft server coming out in just a few days. I've been working really hard on this behind the scenes, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. There's gonna be a crazy amount of streams coming soon on the channel of me playing on the server, and I cannot wait to play with you guys. So be sure to check it out down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, go comment down below popcorn, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.